Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. My name is Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. I am coming to you live from Yetton Field in Waltham, Massachusetts. Here to bring you live coverage of tonight's Lou Tompkins All-Star League 18 and Under Division Summer Baseball Contest between hosting Waltham and visiting Brookline. Well, Brookline hoping to bounce back from their most recent loss to Belmont Watertown, and they're hoping to get some payback against Waltham from an earlier season loss back in June. We missed that one on this channel because I was out with COVID, but Brookline lost to Waltham in Brookline 10-2 on that, I believe, June 30th game. So Brookline hoping to bounce back here, and I'm hoping to bring you a good broadcast, and I won't be alone for this broadcast. Joining me on the mic here, you know him, you love him, Brookline High Rising Junior Sam Lowenstein. Sam, thank you for joining me today. We were talking about the fun of broadcasting with these high fences, and in some ways, more obscuring than in Medford, where we covered earlier this season, but in some ways less obscuring, so bit of a balance.
Definitely, and one thing that I talked about in the pregame was there's no bugs here, which is absolutely wonderful. Had a lot on me. Actually had to check with my neighbor after I got a bug bite, make sure it's not a tick bite. Everything was all good, but definitely a little bit nerve-wracking at that game.
Yeah, and of course that was also the game where the skies turned gray for what I didn't know at the time was because of the Canadian wildfires. It was very interesting game, that one, but this one should be plenty interesting as well. Out here in Waltham, they play on turf, so a much smoother surface, fewer weird hops in the infield, so a lot less likely to reach on an error in the infield, and also just less likely to reach in the infield in general, because any grounders you hit, they're going to travel a lot faster. We've seen a lot of ground balls die in the grass, in that thick infield grass at Joe Campagna Diamond back in Brookline. But here at the turf field at Yetton, that ball's going to be bouncing fast no matter what, so going to be harder to reach in the infield, but you can always reach off something in the outfield. They got a big outfield here in Waltham, a lot of distance to cover for the outfielders. They're going to be tested for sure. And speaking of the players that are going to be facing those tests today, let's go through the starting lineups real quick, as they'll probably be getting this game going soon. We're starting later than scheduled. They had a game from the younger division facing off. Might have been the 16U division, I'm not sure. Or something like that. I don't know exactly what the next age range down is in this league, but whatever it is, it was Waltham and Bill Ricca, the younger teams facing off, and they ran a little long, so we're starting this one a little late, so shorter warm-ups, but we'll soon have the teams getting ready to get going. Really quick, going through the starting lineups first for Waltham. Leading off for the home team, the shortstop, number 35, Dylan Burke. Batting second and playing second, number 51, Joseph Leonardo. Batting third, the extra hitter, number 34, Billy Champion. Batting cleanup, the catcher, number 50, Brian Fleming. Batting fifth, the right fielder, number 16, Jack McElroy. Batting sixth, the pitcher, number 12, Evan Golinger. Batting seventh, the third baseman, number 41, Michael Hovsepian. Batting eighth, the left fielder, number 56, C.J. Rutledge. Batting ninth, the first baseman, number 45, Dante DiStefano. Batting 10th, the second extra hitter, number 42, Rocco Visacci. And batting 11th, the center fielder, number 32, Drew Smith. That's the starting lineup for Waltham. They come into this game with a 9-3 record. Brookline coming in with a record of 7-5. They're both fighting to keep some good playoff spots as the playoffs will start next week. Here's the starting lineup for Brookline coming into this game. Leading off for Brookline, the shortstop, number 19, Leo Vankowski. Batting second and starting on the mound for Brookline today, number 16, Noah Klein. Batting third, the center fielder, number 8, Max Kaufman. Batting cleanup, the left fielder, number 2, Bryce Hellendrung. Batting 5th, the extra hitter, number 10, Harris Hodgson. Batting 6th, the third baseman, number 9, Eli Gewurz. Batting 7th, the second baseman, number 43, Luke Lamacchia. Batting 8th, the first baseman, number 12, Theo Bruin. Batting 9th, the catcher, number 7, Josiah Kalmus. And batting 10th, the right fielder, number 11, Axel Hom. Head coach of the Brookline 18 and under summer baseball team is John Busey. So we'll be getting going soon out here. It is baseball under the lights here as we're getting to the end of this regular season. Just 3 games left here, Sam. The top 8 teams go to the playoffs that start next week. Currently, Waltham in 4th place in the 18 and under division with their 9 wins, 3 losses record. Brookline standing in a tie for 6th place at 7-5. Brookline's got 2 more games left after this one, weather permitting. I know the weather's been kind of a hassle this summer at various points, but Brookline is currently scheduled to play their last home game of the regular season tomorrow against Billerica, a team that they were going to play on the road back on July 2nd, but that game was canceled because of heat as temperatures reached up to 100 degrees, and a lot of people were saying we just want to get to our 4th of July weekend, so that game ended up getting canceled. And then on Thursday, again weather permitting, Brookline will be going on the road up north to Dracut, Massachusetts, where they'll be taking on Dracut for their regular season finale for a 5:45 p.m. start time for both the Tuesday and Thursday games. So we'll be back to our normal starting times after this one as we get a rare late game here with the field lights that they got here in Waltham.
You bet, Jesse, and I got to say personally, there's nothing like a game under the lights. So nice and rare to have a baseball game here. Brookline losing their last game to Belmont Watertown 8-1. This is going to be such an important win for them, tied for 6th place if they want to make it into the playoffs. 1, 2, just have that cushion. Have that comfort of knowing you're going to make it in and not having to worry on the final day of the season.
That is true. And also, a potential fight for home field advantage is in the works here. The top 4 seeds get home field advantage for at least the first game of the playoffs. Meanwhile, like I said before, Brookline standing in 6th place. So as it stands, they would be having a road game for the first game of the playoffs next week. Waltham would have a home game. But, of course, still a few games left. They still got a week left to try and, make their best case for whatever seeding they're going to get. Remember, folks, for next week in the playoffs, you play 3 games. You have to win 2. You play a maximum of 3 games. If you win 2 games, you make it to the semifinals over the weekend. But for right now, we're focusing in on this regular season game. Leading off for Brookline, the shortstop, number 19, Leo Vankoski. Number 12, Evan Golinger, throwing the first pitch, swing and a miss, strike 1. Vankoski's season stats you can see down there in the bottom center of your screen. He's got a batting average of .296, an on-base percentage of .406, a slugging percentage of .333 as he hits a bouncer, taking off one hop at second, thrown to first for a routine 4-3 groundout. Joseph Leonardo, the one fielding that one for Waltham.
Good job by Gollinger in the first 2 pitches. 2 fastballs, pretty low in the zone, throwing it over to the heart of the plate and able to get the weak contact after getting a swing and a miss. But this Brookline team, really an up-and-down season. Before that loss against Belmont Watertown 8-1, they did have a 10-0 Mercy Rule win over Winchester where they got the bulk of the runs in the final inning.
First pitch to the new batter, low for ball 1. At the plate for Brookline is their starting pitcher for today, number 16, Noah Klein. Takes high ball 2. Klein has been an electric hitter for Brookline so far this summer. Batting average .448, on-base percentage .529, slugging percentage .759. as he takes high ball 3, 3-0 hitters count here. Klein also is tied for the team lead in triples with 3, tied for the team lead in doubles with 3, 2 stolen bases, 10 runs scored, and a team-leading 12 RBI. Takes that pitch all the way for strike 1, but still on the verge of a walk with a hitter's count here at 3-1.
Well, the interesting thing, Jesse, is we've seen exclusively fastballs from Gollinger so far.
And he gets that one by Klein for strike 2. A full count here in this pitcher versus pitcher matchup in the top of the first inning. Lines that one over the first baseman, curves just foul. And it will remain a full count to Klein.
Klein getting a little bit too early on that one, but that's exactly the kind of contact that you want to get if you're Brookline, perfectly barreled up.
Yeah, and Klein has been definitely one of the most consistent at getting those balls barreled up amongst the leaders in a lot of offensive categories throughout this season for Brookline. Makes contact again, fouls it off, and stays alive.
Klein doing a really great job to turn on it again. Same thing there. Gollinger going with the off speed that time, may have been a changeup, and that time Klein again just ahead of it.
This one he slices, loops it into left, and it will be a single for Noah Klein as he wins that lengthy battle.
Well, Jesse, we talked about how with the field turf, artificial turf here at Yetton Field, it's going to be harder to get infield singles. Really the opposite of some of the games at Joe Campagna Field, that Warren Playground that we've called. But exactly, Noah Klein doing a great job to get raw power to the opposite field there.
That first pitch going to miss. Ball 1 at the plate now. The center fielder, number 8, Max Kaufman. Kaufman, so far this season, a batting average of .276, on base .364, slugging .414, 4 steals, 4 runs scored, and 6 RBI, as that one going to miss for ball 2. Last time these two teams faced off back on June 30th, Kaufman went 1 for 2 at the plate with a walk and a steal in that 10-2 loss for Brookline, as that one is going to miss for ball 3.
The key for Brookline to getting success, at least through the first 2 at-bats, and you never know potentially here with Kaufman, is whether Gollinger is able to throw strikes. If he's able to throw strikes, he's able to be effective. And there, Max Kaufman drawing the walk.
Yep, he could not throw that strike. It's a 4-pitch walk to Max Kaufman. So 2 on for Brookline with 1 out. Up comes the left fielder, number 2, Bryce Hellendrung. Gollinger checking on the runner, and Hellendrung skies the first pitch he sees. Going to go foul up the left field side for strike 1. Hellendrung on the season so far, he hasn't had enough plate appearances to display his slash line numbers. He is 3 for 15 at the plate so far this summer. 1 double, 1 walk, and 3 RBI. Hits a chopper through the left gap, and Klein is going to hold at third. But Bryce Hellendrung finding the soft spot in the infielders there as Brookline loads the bases for the extra hitter, number 10, Harris Hodgson.
And the thing is, Jesse, for these teams, if they are able to find that soft spot in the infield where there's nobody, because it's field turf, the ball's going faster, the grass isn't going to stop it, and that allows it to get past easier.
Yeah, and it seemed like the third baseman kind of hugging that third base line, you know, playing for the potential of a pull hitter, trying to cover the base for the base runner that could have been running there. Ends up backfiring a little bit. First pitch to Hodgson in there for strike 1. Hodgson on the season so far, 4 for 12 at the plate, 1 double, a team-high 7 walks, 2 stolen bases, 5 runs scored, and 1 RBI. Swing and a miss there, and Hodgson in the hole here at 0-2.
Harris Hodgson yet again behind it, and Gollinger able to yet again throw strikes and have a good, successful count here. Harris Hodgson, a lot of walks on this season, so if he's able to work this count, could pay dividends.
Well, he's lifting this one out to left. Left fielder's got it. Klein tagged, but decides to come back. Didn't have enough of a deep lift and not a fast enough jump off the base to warrant going all the way. That's simply going to be a fly out. And now Brookline down to their last out of the inning. Coming up, the third baseman, number 9, Eli Gevertz. First pitch going to miss, ball 1. Gevertz on the season so far, 3 for 16 at the plate, 1 walk, 1 steal, 1 run, and 1 RBI. That one misses outside. Good check by Gevertz as he stands in a very tight situation here. Bases loaded, 2 out.
Interesting thing, Jesse, is that for the 2 outs that Gollinger has gotten, he has not thrown a single ball in those at-bats.
Well, he gets his first strike on this at-bat. Fooling Gevertz to the low outside corner there for strike 1.
Appeared like a breaking ball there, varying up his pitches just a little bit after going exclusively to fastballs early on.
Draws the foul tip there. Brookline trying to jump on the board here in the top of the first, but they are down to their final strike. Bases juiced, 2 outs. Gevertz at the dish. Check, swing, foul. That looks playable, though, and a sliding catch made by Gollinger himself, and that will end the inning. The Waltham defense escapes the jam and keeps Brookline off the board.
How about that sliding catch and a hustle from Gollinger? Comes all the way over. He's able to just get under it and somehow fits his hand. That's an awfully impressive play. You got to give him a lot of credit.
Absolutely. And so we'll have the top of the Waltham order coming up. Burke, Leonardo, and Champion. We will have some stats from them from the previous time these two teams faced off. You know, I know we were only able to fit in a couple of those. I think only one player we were able to mention that for Brookline, as that inning was moving quite fast. But should be an interesting one here. And, you know, you go for kind of a defensive swing there. Sometimes that's the risk you take. You know, you're trying to, you know, just get a piece of it and hoping that it, you know, flies out of play. And with the velocity Gollinger was throwing for much of that inning, you can understand thinking, oh, if I just stick the bat out, you know, it'll fly foul and I'll be able to stay alive for to fight another pitch. But on that one, held off his speed a little bit, and so Gevertz's defensive block with his bat there ends up in a pop-up. Now starting on the mound for Brookline today, number 16, Noah Klein. He has had 4 pitching appearances so far this summer, 2 of them starts, 2 of them in relief. He's gotten a result every single time. He's got 2 wins, 1 loss, and 1 save through those 4 previous appearances. He's pitched 11 1/3 innings. Got in an ERA of 1.24, a whip of 1.06, and 16 strikeouts. Easily been Brookline's best pitcher so far this summer season. And they'll be hoping he can put up some good numbers here against a Waltham team that put 10 on him the last time they faced off.
Definitely 10-2 in that one. Noah Klein, how about the performance from him overall? We've talked about so many different players for this Brookline side. Jimmy DePaulo when he's been healthy, but Klein has really carved himself out a great all-around year, especially you look at these pitching stats, the triples as well, hitting-wise that he's been able to get 3 of them on this season. Pitching-wise, not a high whip, so he's limiting runners and doing a great job overall.
Leading off for Waltham, the shortstop, number 35, Dylan Burke. That one comes in low, ball 1. Burke, last time against Brookline in that June 30th contest, he went 0 for 2 at the plate with 2 walks, a stolen base, and 2 runs scored.
Klein trying to work the low and inside fastball there to Burke, could not get the call.
Breaking ball there, does not break enough. Ball 2. And speaking of shortstops, since we got the Waltham shortstop at the plate, and you mentioned his name a little bit ago, Sam, as that one misses for ball 3. Jimmy DePaulo, his summer season actually over for Brookline. He is currently traveling down south to the Dominican Republic, and soon he'll be getting ready to start his collegiate baseball career. So, of course, as longtime Brookline baseball fans of Jimmy DePaulo, we wish him all the best in his future endeavors on the diamond. It'll be a leadoff 4-pitch walk for Dylan Burke. Now with a runner on and no one out, up comes the second baseman, number 51, Joseph Leonardo.
A lot of arm side inside pitches from Klein in that at bat. Wasn't able to work it around enough. Purity could have just been a little bit late in his release.
That one also misses. Klein struggling with his control to start so far. Ball 1. Leonardo, last time against Brookline, 0 for 2 at the plate with a hit by pitch, a sacrifice fly, a run scored, and an RBI.
Well, I'd be surprised if we see a hit by pitch in this at-bat. Noah Klein, again, same exact side. All those pitches have been to the left.
That's true. And like you said, maybe just the timing of his release might be off. They might be coming out a little bit early if they're careening towards that side. As that one also missing again to that, arm side of the plate there. Outside for righties, inside for lefties.
That's a
good way of phrasing it, the arm side of the plate. I'm going to have to remember that one.
It's the arm side of the plate because you can't say outside or inside because the previous guy was a lefty, but definitely the arm side and third pickoff here.
Yeah, Noah Klein, he's got that lefty throw to first base so he can make that quick release over in that direction without having to turn his body around. But so far, unable to catch anything and unable to catch the strike zone as another one misses on that arm side to the outside of the plate for Leonardo, the righty hitter.
That's 7 straight pitches to that same side. Noah Klein, again, you said it perfectly, early in his release.
And that time may have held it a little too long as that one drops low on the fastball. 8 straight balls to start for the usually very reliable at the mound, Noah Klein. 2 runners on, and now coming up the extra hitter, number 34, Billy Champion.
Just a struggling start for Noah Klein. Back-to-back 4-pitch walks that he's issued. But it's an interesting thing, Jesse. When you think about it, really dissecting and watching the pitcher's mechanics, we got to do this more.
Yeah, and it's definitely very interesting to observe that. Champion had an explosive day at the plate against Brookline last time back in June. 2 for 3 with a double, a walk, a steal, and 2 RBI. Ooh! Well, we didn't see a hit by pitch on the last at-bat, but sticking to that arm side of the plate and as far on that arm side as we've seen as it hits the lefty hitter, Billy Champion, the base is juiced off 3 straight free passes. And now, with the bases juiced and nobody out, up comes the catcher, number 50, Brian Fleming.
That's 10 straight balls now to open the game from Klein.
First pitch, and hey, we've got our first one in the zone. Strike 1 to Fleming. Fleming, last time against Brookline, 1 for 4 with a run scored. That one misses high, ball 1.
And that was high and arm side as well.
Yeah, a little bit. It didn't look from here, granted we got a limited angle, it didn't look as far outside as some of these other pitches.
Still generally outside,
but
though.
Still missed. Counts as a ball all the same. Fouled off for strike 2. Klein looking a little bit more in control this against this batter. And it's just a matter of, is it too late for him to discover his control after already allowing 3 free base runners?
Well, in this at-bat, Klein's been holding the ball down a little bit more. He's having more success with it.
Tries the breaking ball, but it does not break enough, and Fleming doesn't bite. Ball 2. 2-2 the count.
12 balls and 2 strikes issued by Klein so far.
And make it 13 balls as that one just misses, and we got a full count. 1 more ball would be a 4th straight free pass for Klein. And with the bases loaded, that would bring in the game's first run. So got to aim for the strike zone in a situation like this.
Now, one interesting thing, Jesse, is I believe every single ball has either been low or arm side.
And he got him chasing upstairs. The high heat pays big dividends there for Noah Klein as he gets a big first out.
That is so crucial for Noah Klein. You could really sense something a little bit different in terms of that at-bat. Klein not releasing as early, and he really found that sweet spot after he pitched the at-bat before that was 2 down low. That really allowed him, and now he's throwing strikes. The high leverage actually potentially helping Noah Klein to lock in a little bit.
At the plate now for Waltham is the right fielder, number 16, Jack McElroy, facing an 0-1 count, and now hits a grounder right back to Klein. He's going to go back to the plate for one. They're going to first. Oh, they missed the throw. They tried to end it on the double play, but instead 2 runs are going to, or 1 run actually, is going to come in on the throwing error. So close Brookline was to getting out of that bases-loaded jam with no runs allowed, but the throwing error on the attempted double play. It'll be a 1-2 fielder's choice for McElroy. Leonardo in to score on an E2. Champion down to third on the same error. Runners at the corners now, 2 down. It's a 1-0 lead for Waltham. At the plate, it is pitcher against pitcher as number 12, Evan Gollinger, steps in. First pitch is a strike. Meanwhile, McElroy takes second unopposed.
Man, Jesse, that's an absolute killer momentum-wise. If you're Brookline, Noah Klein, such a smart play to go home with it. Oh, so close, but just unable. And the air bringing in the run to you, that's extra bad momentum for Brookline.
That pitch high for ball 1, and Klein's throw home did prevent 1 run, as he did throw out Burke at the plate on the force, but the throw to first from the catcher Josiah Kalmus just misconnects with the first baseman Theo Bruin, resulting in the run scoring. That'll be strike 2 to Gollinger. Gollinger last time against Brookline, 1 for 4 with a run and 2 RBI. Runners at second and third, 2 down, 1-2 the count. Breaking ball, hits a bouncer, foul up the first base side. Count remains 1-2.
Looks like Klein's trying to work those breaking balls arm side back into the strike zone. That's what he was able to do there, just couldn't get any swing and miss on it.
Klein still trying to limit the damage here. That one's going to miss. High and away on the fastball, ball 2.
Yet again, high and away, no matter how away it is. Really, almost all of these misses, Jesse, have been away.
That is true. We haven't really seen many misses inside
We haven't
to
seen
righty hitters.
We haven't seen a single pitch completely inside to a righty.
That one bounces in the turf for ball 3. We got a full count here. Now, a walk here, not the worst thing in the world. You would create a force at every base, and you wouldn't bring in any runs, but you certainly prefer to get the out.
Now, Jesse, the interesting thing is it's not bouncing the dirt, it's bouncing the turf.
This one lined out to center. That drops in, 1 run in, and they're going to hold the second runner as Kaufman able to get that one in fast. But Gollinger will head down to second on the throw. Another run in for Waltham. They now lead 2-0.
Klein there actually did a pretty good job on his release down the middle, essentially, though, on the fastball, and it just got absolutely walloped by Gollinger. That's exactly what you're taught to do. Perfect line drive straight into center field, drives in the runner.
So 2 runs in now for Waltham. Brookline, again, had come so close on multiple occasions to limiting the damage further than what it's been so far, but 2 runs in, Waltham has the lead. That pitch tipped into the glove for strike 1 at the plate. The third baseman, number 41, Michael Hovsepian, with runners at second and third and 2 down. Breaking ball misses high, ball 1.
High and a little bit on the outside there.
Yeah, still same pattern. Hovsepian last time against Brookline, 0 for 2 with a hit by pitch, a run, and an RBI. Swing and a miss as Klein gets the heater by him. Strike 2.
Really good fastball there from Klein.
They're trying to reconnect. Okay, looks like we are reconnected. Okay. Noah Klein finishes the inning striking out Hovsepian. But Waltham still got 2 runs on the board. Funnily enough, 2 unearned runs as they were both scored with the aid of an error on that throwing error that potentially ended the inning. And so, despite allowing the bases to be loaded with no outs, Noah Klein finishes that inning with his ERA actually getting lower, believe it or not. That's, one of the funny things about ERA is that sometimes you give up some runs, and because they're unearned, because there was an error involved, your stats don't necessarily get that much worse.
I agree, and you know what's the worst, Jesse? If you're a pitcher, if there's 1 out, and you give up an error, and then you give up a plethora of hits after that, and it just keeps tacking on, but it's still an earned run because it's just that 1 error on top of so many hits, and so there's nothing you can do. I feel like that's the pitcher nightmare.
That's what's tough. Because the rule is did the run score with the aid of the error? Like, would the run have scored even if the error hadn't happened? And, even if you want to say, you can't presume the double play, which in some stat-keeping rules you can't presume that the double play would have been completed, the runners only advanced because of the throwing error itself. So, at most, you could say 1 run would have scored on the single by Gollinger, but that's the most you could say. So, it's either 1 earned run or 0 earned runs for Klein in that first inning. Now, leading off for Brookline as they try and answer back on offense, trailing by 2. They've got the second baseman, number 43, Luke Lamacchia.
I'd be an advocate for saying 0 earned runs. That's just me personally.
That's my feeling too. Lamacchia so far this season as he takes ball 1 high and in. 4 for 12 at the plate, 1 double, 1 walk. Skies this one foul and out of play for strike 1. He's also got 1 stolen base, 3 runs scored, and 6 RBI. So even with not getting a ton of plate appearances so far this summer, still ranking pretty high, tied for 4th on the team in RBI this summer.
Really respectable numbers from Lamacchia.
Breaking ball finds the zone there, strike 2. Gollinger now able to pitch with a lead. He allowed the bases to be loaded with 1 out back in the first, but got the 2 outs he needed to finish the job there as that one misses inside ball 2.
Lamacchia kind of ducked in an interesting way there. Ducked his head, funnily.
Fastball is lifted by Lamacchia into left. Clean single for Luke Lamacchia to start off the inning.
Hard line drive. Perfect job by Lamacchia, able to turn on it. Turns his back foot and rips a single, and that could be potentially really good for Brookline's momentum.
Hoping to follow up that momentum for Brookline, the first baseman, number 12, Theo Bruin. First pitch, I think they said he went around on that one for strike 1.
Looked like to me.
On the season so far, Bruin with a 200 batting average, 304 on-base percentage, 300 slugging. Lamacchia is going. It's a low ball, and it was juggled by Fleming as Lamacchia picks up the steal.
And that's a perfect pitch to go on if you're Luke Lamacchia. Low below the zone there, despite the fact that it's a fastball. Catcher just juggled it for a little bit, allowing him to advance.
Bruin on top of his slash line stats. He's also got 2 steals, 5 runs scored, and 4 RBI as he takes strike 2 there. Bruin has got multiple extra base hits. He's got 2 doubles, so just 1 behind the team lead. Got a piece of it and stays alive. 1 and 2 remains the count.
He's going down to the dugout. He struck out.
Oh, he struck out. Oops. That's...
He missed it.
My head's on a swivel trying to check out my stats and also check out the action. And it betrayed me there. I did not see it was a strikeout for Bruin. That's why it's good to have Sam as my backup. You know, keep me in check when I miss things. Now batting is the catcher, number 7, Josiah Kalmus, as he swings and misses at strike one. Kalmus, limited action at the plate so far this summer. 1 for 3, a double, a hit by pitch, 2 runs scored, and an RBI. Tips that one to the backstop for strike 2.
In that previous at-bat, Theo Bruin tried to do a little check swing, come around with it. He did go, and the tall fence reigning supreme here. I gotta say, Jesse, it's a beautiful night, though.
It is. It's a very beautiful night. Heater misses high, ball 1. Lamakia at second, 1 out here in the top of the second. Brookline trying to answer back after letting in 2 runs in the bottom of the first inning. And that one lifted foul up the right field side. Kalmus got jammed inside. And, you know, Sam, interestingly enough, we talked about how much Klein was pitching to the arm side of the plate as a lefty pitcher. We're seeing a lot of the same from Gollinger as a righty, as he's pitching inside to righties a lot.
But Brookline's done a good job to get hard contact to the opposite field despite that they're foul balls.
That one, a swing and a miss from Kalmus. Back-to-back Ks for Gollinger. And now with 2 down and a runner at second, up comes the right fielder, number 11, Axel Hom.
Hom, a young player, but he's definitely got some big power in the bat.
That one misses for ball 1. Hom at the plate so far this summer, 3 for 13, 2 walks, 2 steals, 4 runs scored, and an RBI. That one misses ball 2, and Sam, even more so than his bat, one of the scariest things about Hom at this stage of his career is his legs. He's got some speed. He's legged out some infield balls at Campania Diamond as he skies this one, fouling out of play for strike 1. We mentioned before how infield singles not really as strong of a possibility on this turf field here at Yetton as opposed to the thick infield grass of Campania Diamond. But if Hom can get on the bases, he could be a potential threat, especially with the top of the order due up after him. Fouls that one out of play as well. Strike 2. Okay, that went off the roof of a car. Boy, we heard that sound reverberating all the way over here.
Let's hope that no windshields were cracked. And
that wasn't a windshield. That was a roof.
Well, that's lucky then. Again, this is why you got car insurance. Whatever that car insurance may be.
High ball 3, full count to Hom. And, you know, speaking as a guy who has taken a baseball to his windshield in years past, yes, we are very grateful for car insurance. Hom reaches low, hits a chopper over to second, fielded clean, throw to first. Oh, so close. But he is out at first. Almost managed to leg it out on the turf. If that had gone to the left side of the infield, Sam, I think he would have made it.
Oh, he definitely would have. Almost legged that out, and you said it during the at-bat, Jesse. Axel Hom obviously still a threat with his bat, but at this stage in his career, mostly with his legs, and we nearly saw it right there.
The 4-3 ground out ends the inning. We move to the bottom of the second. Waltham on top, 2-0.
Now, Jesse, I got a question for you.
What's your question, Sam?
My question, on the topic of insurance and balls hitting things like windshields, etc., do home values decrease when they're around a baseball field?
Ooh, that is a good question. And you know what I love about that question, Sam? I loved that you asked it of a guy who is so far away in his salary from anywhere being able to think about buying his own real estate that there is no possible way he could know whether or not that's true because he's never had to interact with homeowners insurance.
It's more of a philosophical just general question. Not philosophical, but it's more of a.
I don't think that's philosophical.
It's not a specific question. It's more of just a general question. It's the kind of thing that you look up. I don't know if most people look it up. I like to look it up. I find home values interesting.
You know, I'm sure that the folks at the insurance company will look for any reason to up your insurance rates. So I am firmly in the camp of they probably charge a little more for that, at least for, window-related matters or something. I don't know. But, man, now you got me thinking, because you almost called it a philosophical question. You got me imagining like those guys in ancient Greece in the togas walking through through the hall, those marble halls, and being like, yes, but what about the rates in regards if thine house catches on fire? Anyway, we start at the bottom of the second, leading off for Waltham, the left fielder, number 56, C.J. Rutledge. Klein starting off this inning much better than the first pitch of the first inning as he gets a strike.
Great fastball right down the middle from Klein, just establishing the zone there a little bit to the arm side, but still down the middle. But maybe there were certain Olympic games back in ancient Greece where it was slightly dangerous to the surroundings. They upped the insurance there. Real philosophical with the greats. You got Plato and all them.
This one lifted into shallow right, and no one's calling for it. They might have lost it in the dark there. Luke Lamacchia just lost sight of it. Wasn't sure if it was going far enough for Hom to come in and get it, or if he needed to get it, and just completely lost sight of it. That will go down as a single for Rutledge.
That's a play you don't see very often from the Brookline team in the field, just potentially getting a little bit confused due to the fact that it's nighttime, you got the lights, it's slightly a different situation. That's my explanation, Jesse, but really not much to it.
Runner at first with nobody out here in the bottom of the second. That first pitch going to miss. Ball one. At the plate is the first baseman, number 45, Dante DiStefano. DiStefano, last time against Brookline, 2 for 3 with a steal and 2 runs scored. Oh, he got him with the pickoff. Brilliant move from Noah Klein as he fools the base runner completely.
That's the danger of a left-handed pickoff for anybody on first base. Noah Klein just has to quickly go over. He's done a bunch of pickoff attempts already in this game. That one pays off as Rutledge is caught at first.
So it goes from nobody out, runner on first, to 1 out, bases empty. Now Klein can focus in on the hitter and not have to worry about the guy on base, but he's got to hit the strike zone as he misses there for ball 2.
I'm sure that he's thrown more balls than strikes in this game easily. A lot of yet another arm side ball for him.
Got the swing and miss there for strike 1, 2-1. Now the count to DiStefano.
The interesting thing, Jesse, is when he's throwing it too much to the arm side, he's throwing it actually softer than when he's throwing it down the middle because he's able to get his body power around it. So then he's getting these late swings and swing and misses. Yet again, another one right there.
Another one for strike 2. And yeah, that's the basics of physics. Everything, you lead with your legs, then with your hips, and then to your arms. It's almost like your body becomes one long whip. That's the basic premise of pitching, of hitting, of all of it. And got him chasing low there. That one might have been a bit of a cut fastball, as it had a bit of a dip to it. And Noah Klein picks up the K for the second out.
It's the low pitches that have been working out for Klein. That time a cut fastball, whether it's a four-seamer, that it works out when he's able to get his full body power down onto it.
Now batting, the second extra hitter for Waltham, number 42, Rocco Visacci. Ooh, he got hit. Second hit by pitch in as many innings for the Waltham lineup. Free runner over to first with 2 down as up comes the center fielder, number 32, Drew Smith.
Final hitter to line up at the plate as the first time of the order wrapping up here for Klein.
That one does catch the high corner for strike 1. And Smith is indeed the 11th batter in an 11-man batting order for Waltham. They got 2 extra hitters in their lineup today. Throw back to first, but the runner gets back safe. Some guys having fun over at the Waltham football field behind us.
Always fun to hear.
Yeah. You know, having fun in the summertime. Nothing wrong with that.
Exactly. against a beautiful night. I do wonder.
High pitch for a ball. Throw down to second. Was close there. But they say Versace made it. Runner in scoring position now with a 1-1 count.
Versace nearly went too far and came off the bag there. Lamacchia almost able to apply the tag.
1-1 the count to Smith with a runner now at second. 2 down. Tips that one in the glove. Strike 2.
Great pitch from Klein, yet again able to get it in the heart of the plate with the hitter too far behind, late on a swing. Crucial opportunity here for Smith.
High ball. Throw down to third. Got him in time that time. Kalmas to Gevertz on the throw, and Gevertz laying out to make the tag and end the inning.
What a play there by Eli Gevertz. His body went one way, his arm went the other way, and he's able to apply the tag somehow, some way for Brookline to end the inning and get out of a dangerous situation.
Well, the contortionist at the hot corner finishes up the second frame. At the end of 2, our score, Waltham 2, Brookline 0. Both teams will start their second turn through the batting order here in the third inning. Smith will return to the plate to start the bottom of the third inning, and then Waltham will cycle back to the top of the order. Brookline cycling to the top of the order to start off this third inning. It'll be Vankowski, Klein, and Kaufman.
You gotta love a good contortionist, Jesse, in baseball. Always fun when players do things you never thought were possible when it comes to this sport.
We got 2 notes in the live chat. Adrian Fricky saying go Brookline, and Joanna Fricky saying let's go Warriors. 2 of our regular viewers throughout this season, throughout a lot of our seasons, across a lot of different sports that we covered.
And speaking of Joanna Fricky, again, this team not actually the Warriors. This team is Brookline, but we're going to do
That's right.
the annual daily Sam and Jesse weather report in Las Vegas.
Oh, fun! Let's go for it. What in the land of 100 and stupid? What's the? Oh my God! I was kidding. No, I was kidding. No. What do you mean 108?
A low of 91 today.
Oh well, that's nice and chilly. Who loves a nice and who loves a chillier temperature than 91? My goodness. Do you, I gotta ask, in Las Vegas, do they even bother having ovens, or do they just, go out and cook everything on the sidewalk?
Some people do. They just put out stuff. They put out food, and then it cooks naturally.
Yeah, I imagine they do it every once in a while, but I'm just like, you could do this every day. Like it's a high in the hundreds every day this week in Vegas. That's insane. First pitch of the top of the third inning, gonna miss high for ball 1. Leo Vankowski leading things off. He hit a ground out to second his last time up as he takes ball 2. And we didn't get to mention it his last time up, but last time against Waltham back in June, Vankowski went 2 for 3 at the plate, but no extra stats on top of it as he swings and misses there for strike 1.
Good job there to rev it up, and on Saturday we got the 10-day high, which is 113. Real brisk.
That is ball 3 to Vankowski, as we got, some pretty ideal summer temperatures here, 74 degrees, pretty clear night skies. We've got a beautiful view of the moon as Vankowski is going to draw a leadoff walk. Not sure if my camera can catch it. Yep, there you can see it. You can see it there through the home plate cage there.
The moon is orange tonight.
Yeah. It's a beautiful sight. Beautiful night out. Runner at first for Brookline. Now batting the pitcher, number 16, Noah Klein. Takes a low ball 1. Klein singled his last time up, but got stranded at third in the first inning. Last time against Waltham, he went 1 for 3 at the plate with an RBI, and he's now skying this one. This one's going way back in left field, just out of reach for the left fielder. Might have lost it in the darkness. Vankowski's on his horse. He's going to stop at third. Those Waltham outfielders so good at getting that ball back into the infield, holding up the Brookline runners, but that is going to be a team-leading 4th double of the season for Noah Klein.
The ball just really bounced all the way up out in left field there. Easy for the left fielder to grab it because of the turf. And it's interesting how it plays in comparison to at Campagna.
First pitch there, strike one. Max Kaufman at the plate with runners at second and third and nobody out. A prime opportunity to get back in this ball game. Takes strike two there. Kaufman, his last time up, he drew a 4-pitch walk, was left stranded at second. He's hoping not to leave his teammates on the bases here. A base hit to the outfield could potentially tie this ball game with Vankowski at third and Klein at second. And Kaufman gets a piece of that one, stays alive at 0-2.
Great job there by Max Kaufman just to stay alive in the count. Rutledge in the previous at-bat did a really great job to throw it back in, but a golden opportunity here, Jesse, for this Brookline team. But one thing I wonder, why is the moon orange tonight?
Kaufman slices that one in foul territory. Left fielder given chase, but it's out of play as he stays alive. And, Sam, I wish I could tell you. Maybe, some folks who are, big astronomy experts in the live chat will be able to explain that to us. But for now, Kaufman staying in the fight, taking a high ball one there.
Now, this is a philosophical discussion if we have one.
That one's skied. And that's out of play as Kaufman continues to battle. And, I actually can picture the ancient Greeks discussing why the moon's a certain color and then, being like, shut up, Copernicus. What do you mean the sun's the center of the universe and not the earth?
Also, I used to wonder when I was younger, if the moon can be orange sometimes, why is the moon not purple or something or green? Makes me wonder that. But I know there's a scientific reason for it.
2-2 pitch, and it's now a full count as that one misses high and away. How about this fight from Max Kaufman at the plate? Number of foul balls and taking some pitches outside the zone to draw a full count. And he rips one up the middle. That's going to bring in Brookline's first run. Vankowski trots home. Klein wheeling around. Max Kaufman with one swing has tied this ball game.
Drew Smith in center field bobbled it for a second, allowed the second run to come home. But how about that at-bat from Max Kaufman? Battled down all the way back from 0-2, gets it to 3-2, and then ties the game with a 2 RBI single.
Big play there from Max Kaufman. Brookline missing a number of their regular guys from the middle of the order. Jimmy DiPaolo down in the Dominican Republic. Tony Carballo out at Yosemite National Park as Helendrung lifts that one foul. So with guys like that missing, you need other guys to step up. And Max Kaufman, a longtime veteran of this Brookline baseball program, comes through with a big veteran hit there to tie us up.
And also Danny Carballo as well.
Yes, both Carballo brothers off traveling with their family, I believe. 2-1 the count to Helendrung. Takes that one high for ball three. An attempted pickoff throw by Fleming, but Kaufman dives back safe. Kaufman, another one of those guys that's a threat with his legs. One of the faster players for Brookline. It serves him well defensively out in center field and offensively when he's on the base pads. And right as I say that, it doesn't matter. He did take off for a steal, but he's not going to get one because that was ball 4 to Helendrung.
One interesting thing, Jesse, with that play is high pitches are easier for the catchers to get to. Potentially, Gollinger could have thought the runner's going, again, if he was aware. We have no idea if he was aware or not, but if he was aware, he could have been like, I have to throw it high, and that resulted in ball 4.
It's very possible. Harris Hodgson going to lay down the bunt, picked up by Gollinger, throws to first. Harris Hodgson doing his job with the sacrifice bunt.
Excellent bunt from Hodgson. Could not have done that better. Now 1 out, runners on second and third for Brookline, just laying it down beautifully. And what an inning this has been, Jesse.
Brookline now with a chance to actually take the lead. And again, when the first inning, you start out unable to score with the bases loaded and 1 out, and then your pitcher loads the bases with 3 straight free passes to open the bottom half of the inning. That kind of early tone can make it seem like, oh, this is going to be a rough game for us. But now Brookline really turning it around, a chance to take the lead as Eli Gewurz steps in and fouls off the first pitch, strike 1.
And this Waltham team did beat Brookline 10-2 earlier on. Brookline just 1 base runner away from eclipsing that total already.
Gewurz lifts it out into shallow right, sliding catch attempt is made, but Kaufman tags and comes to the plate. Brookline takes the lead off the sac fly from Eli Gewurz.
That's great awareness. Great catch from Jack McElroy out in right field. Incredible awareness, though, from Max Kaufman to watch it not get caught out on third, just to stay as much as he needs to, knowing that if it gets down, he's going to score anyway. Staying on third and getting home to give Brookline the lead.
A pickoff throw at third, and they caught him. Oh, what a laser throw from Brian Fleming. Head coach John Busey going out to talk to the ump to discuss that one.
I must say, from our angle, that looked like it was out.
It looked like it was out. To me as well. I don't know if maybe he's asking, if the fielder blocked the base or something like that. I'm not sure what he was asking there, but Luke Lamakia's plate appearance lasts 1 pitch there, and he'll be back in the top of the 4th. But Brookline with a big bounce-back inning as they flip the script and take the lead 3-2 going into the bottom of the 3rd.
Brookline up 3-2. We still do not know why the moon is orange, and I'm going to look up that information on our philosophical conversation.
Yeah. Joanna Fricky in the live chat saying, I almost mentioned what a beautiful night with a purely blue sky, and also saying, I've never fried an egg on the sidewalk, but the rubber sole of my Keen's sandal melted and stuck to the concrete after I walked 3 blocks once. Yeesh.
Okay, Jesse, the moon may be orange because of air particles, so it could be wildfire related. We do not know.
I hope it's not that.
I hope it's not, and also the air quality is sure better now. Again, in my house, I was by myself. My parents were both away, and the air quality was bad. The air filter was on red, and now it's perfectly fine, so hope we're all right.
Certainly hope that we're all okay. Definitely a good thing to hope for.
And the philosophical questioning continues, with Smith coming in at the dish.
I got to ask, what's your definition of a philosophical question, Sam?
I think a philosophical question can be a very vague thing, because you could have philosophical in the Greek sense, which is what would Plato and all those other guys talk about around the campfire, or if they even had campfires back then. I'm pretty sure.
I was about to say, you're asking if they understood the concept of how to make fire in ancient Greece?
Of course they did, but
yeah, so then they had fires, and certainly if they were out in the woods, they would make camp.
Not sure why I thought.
They're not that old.
Gets confusing once you get a couple thousand years back.
I believe it's a 3-0 count here to Drew Smith, as Klein's struggling to find the zone to start this one. Certainly don't want him getting back in the habit of giving up free passes like he did to start the first inning.
And I got a question for you. What would you define as philosophical?
Well, I'm going to wait until after this pitch first so I stay on top of things, as it's going to be a 4-pitch walk to Smith, and that'll be a free base runner as the top of the order comes up for Waltham. Dylan Burke up next. He was the first to draw a 4-pitch walk from Klein back in the first inning. Did not score as he was thrown out on the fielder's choice.
Klein, they're just trying to work it down and inside. Interesting. That time it's glove side, not arm side.
That's a great stab by Klein. Throws to second for 1 out, on to first, not in time. Throw was a little high, and Burke might have legged it out anyway, but that will be a 1-6 fielder's choice. That will record the first out of the inning. Good heads-up fielding by the pitcher, Noah Klein.
That's the second time now in this game that Klein's gotten a hitter out on a fielder's choice, but then the other fielder was unable to complete the play. It makes me wonder if it's jitters or just trying to overthink or something like that, because they're uncharacteristic misses, very makeable plays.
Well, the first one I would say was definitely makeable. The throwing error from the catcher in the first inning. That second one I don't think was makeable for Vankowski. The throw was less than ideal from Klein. It was, a little bit right side of the bag. You want it more to be left side so you can, get the guy in stride and more towards first base. And Burke showing some speed on the bases that would have been hard to catch him anyway. This is part of why they say in regards to errors that you can't presume the double play, which is why I wouldn't give Vankowski a throwing error on that play, even though it was a high throw that pulled Bruin off the bag. A lot of pickoff attempts from Klein to keep an eye on Burke. And to answer your question earlier, Sam, what do I think a philosophical question is? I generally think those are ones where you don't necessarily have like a factual answer, as this one is skied up in the air by Joseph Leonardo. In right center, it's called for by Kaufman. Bobbled it a bit, but does hold on in the darkness there for the second out of the inning. But I feel like questions of like ethics and morals and logic and stuff like that, those to me are questions of philosophy, questions of the mind, questions of the human mind and our thoughts and our feelings and stuff like that, as this is going to be a foul bouncer up the first base side, and really more so I think thought than feeling, because I feel like once you get more into, thoughts and feelings combined, then you get into psychology.
Maybe it's more psychological questions that I'm thinking of.
Why the moon turns orange is not a psychological question either, Sam.
Not that one, but that's scientific. It's all these. Why the moon turns orange? Maybe it's not philosophical, but I was thinking that
I
word.
would consider that like astronomical or maybe meteorological. But
It's not surface level.
I would not consider it a psychological question why the moon turns orange, unless you're the only one who sees an orange moon. Then that might be, if it's a visual hallucination, it might be psychological, or even still, it might just be a physical health question.
Be a problem.
That just might be a problem with your eyes. That might be something for what is it, an obstetrician that deals with your eyes. He said, asking a guy who doesn't wear glasses while he himself wears glasses.
I have definitely seen the eye doctor. Ophthalmologist.
That's it. That one gonna miss for ball 2, as this is Billy Champion at the plate with 2 down and a runner at first.
Trying to work the down-low breaking ball there. Some more breaking balls that Klein has been incorporating after just using fastballs in the beginning. He's had more success with varied pitch selection.
That fastball misses low for ball 3. 3-1 the count to Champion. Burke at first, 2 down here in the bottom of the third. Brookline leading Waltham by a narrow score of 3-2. Breaking ball. Got him, and I actually had the count wrong, as that was strike 3. And Klein finishes up the third inning. It's an ophthalmologist or an optometrist.
I got it right.
You did. So we are through 3 here in Waltham. Our score, Brookline 3, Waltham 2. During this break between innings, I'd like to take a moment for a local charity spotlight and tell you about Brookline Cares. Brookline Cares is a volunteer organization run by Brookline High School students, which seeks to raise awareness and funds to help people experiencing homelessness. Brookline Cares works closely with an organization called the Empowerment Plan. The Empowerment Plan hires and trains those experiencing homelessness to manufacture their special type of coat, known as the Empower Coat, which can double as a sleeping bag. The coats help to keep those struggling with homelessness warm during the colder months of the year, while the jobs manufacturing those coats can help break the cycle of homelessness through gainful employment. What Brookline Cares does is they purchase those Empower coats from the Empowerment Plan, financially supporting the work that they do. And then they distribute those Empower coats to local community organizations and emergency departments that care for the homeless. And you can help them to bring more warmth to those in need. Down in the description section of this video, you can find a link on the website classy.org where you can donate money to the Brookline Cares team, supporting their efforts to purchase and distribute more Empower coats. Or if you're a student interested in joining Brookline Cares, you can find another link, this time to the organization's own website on wixsite.com, where you can find more information about the group and how you can contact them. Once again, check out the links in the description section below and help spread the warmth with Brookline Cares. We move to the top of the fourth inning. It'll be Lamakia leading us off as Helen Drung got picked off at third to end the third inning, so Lamakia will finish his plate appearance. He's 1 for 1 so far today, singled and stole second his last time up when he led off the second inning. And he skies this one out to left. Left fielder going back, tracking it, and he holds on this time through the darkness for out number 1.
That's a great catch in left field by Rutledge. Had to kind of hold it up for a sec, nearly bobbled it for a moment, and a hard hit line shot by Lamakia nearly in the gap there. Rutledge just able to get to it.
We mentioned the size of the outfield out here in Waltham, but playing here under the lights, you know, tracking the ball is going to be that much harder. Balls to the outfield just that much more dangerous as Theo Bruin skies the first pitch he sees in foul territory, and it is tracked by the first baseman for out number 2.
One interesting thing, Jesse, when you look at the scoreboard, Brookline 3 runs, 5 hits, Waltham 2 runs and 2 hits. Brookline, of course, with those 2 errors as well, but when you correlate the hits and the runs, very similar. Obviously, there's walks built in there, but they really correlated quite tightly.
Breaking ball going to miss to the outside. Ball 1. Josiah Kalmus at the plate for Brookline. His last time up, he struck out. That one misses high for ball 2.
You really sense Gollinger settling in this inning after a more rocky last one, applying his pitches well and getting these quick outs against Brookline.
Gets strike 1 there to Kalmus. And that's the thing, is if you have a rough inning against the top half of the order, eventually you're going to face the bottom part of the order, and that can be an opportunity to bounce back and get back in your rhythm. Kalmus lines it. A good snag at first base. Back-to-back catches made by Dante DiStefano as Gollinger does rebound nicely in the fourth, puts the Brookline bats down in order.
Brookline coming out, but to the field, but a great job there by Gollinger to get 3 quick outs of Lamakia, Bruin, and Kalmus. Was able to force a lot of hits to the opposite field, and that's what I've really noticed a lot in it. He's forced Brookline to shoot balls to the opposite field, often very late, getting good results.
It'll be Fleming, McElroy, and Gollinger coming to the plate as Noah Klein returns to the mound for his 4th inning of work. Remember, as the starting pitcher, he has to finish 4 innings to be eligible for the pitching win. So he would have to finish this inning with the lead intact at bare minimum if he wants a chance for the pitching win.
Brookline right now up 3-2, bottom of the 4th coming up. You got Fleming and McElroy, followed by the pitcher Gollinger for Waltham here on a beautiful night at Yetton Field. Brookline on top, and still on the mound is Noah Klein for Brookline.
So we looked up the term for what an eye doctor is. Should we look up what the definition is for philosophy? And what that covers?
See, I might be caught out.
Just to make sure that the color of the moon does not actually fit within the umbrella of philosophical questions.
Knowledge.
The fundamental nature is the study of the fundamental nature of knowledge, reality, and existence.
Love of wisdom.
The word comes from ancient Greek words meaning love of wisdom. It uses clear thinking and logic to answer big questions about life and truth.
But look at this.
Logic,
Metaphysics.
ethics, epistemology, metaphysics, which is the study of reality, space, time, and existence.
You could say space. I gotta defend myself.
No,
here.
not outer space, as in like space and time, as in like the space between you and me.
Okay,
That
but
space.
but you could say why is
This one skied out to center field, well tracked by Kaufman. Classic case of good contact, bad placement there. Unlucky for Brian Fleming, as that'll be a hard hit line out for out number 1.
See, I recognize obviously there's some things that are not philosophical, like why does a certain guy swing and hit and miss at certain points in the night or whatever. That's psychological.
This one sent up the middle and bobbled by Vankowski. That would have been a tough play to make. For now, I'm going to score that a single for Jack McElroy, but I might double check that on Game Changer later.
That, to me, is definitely a single. Great effort from Vankowski. Literally nothing he could do about that.
Nothing you can do about that unless you had an arm about 2 inches longer.
Maybe 4 inches.
Yeah, it is hard. We don't exactly have a visual measuring tape from out here through the fence on the first base side of the stands.
And again, I'm a humanities guy, not a math or science guy, so not really within my skill set.
That one gets away. A wild pitch from Klein, and McElroy goes to second, and it actually went into the Waltham dugout, and so it goes out of play. Oh, but they're not giving the extra base to McElroy. Waltham was trying to argue that because it went out of play that McElroy should go to third, but no, they're saying he just takes second, because I think it matters if he was at the base and around second base by the time that it went out of play.
That's a really lucky play here for Brookline in this one.
Runner at second, 2-1, the count to Gollinger, the pitcher. Fouled off for strike 2. Gollinger, his last time up against Klein, he got an RBI single. So in all 3 of the previous pitcher versus pitcher matchups, the hitter has always won.
Ever since Noah Klein has been able to get a more of a downward delivery, as we see here, even though it's a up and over breaking ball, he's doing a really good job as this game has gone on, has not given up an earned run still in this game yet.
Yeah, borderline 1 or 0 earned runs in that first inning. As this one lined out to right, it's going to drop in front of Hom. It's going to be a single that'll put runners at the corners for Waltham with 1 out. And the 2 pitchers today, both 2 for 2 at the plate.
Klein has given up some hard line drive contact in this inning. That's only the 3rd hit of the game now for Waltham as they rule it. I guess they ruled Vankowski's fielding attempt an error.
I guess.
Not in my book, but that's what they ruled it here.
Now at the plate, Michael Hovsepian. And a pickoff does catch the runner between, but they have to try and hold the runner at third. They got the runner at second, but a run is going to come in and tie the ball game. A wild, chaotic play. Quick decisions had to be made. And Waltham aggressive on the double steal. They tie the ball game, but now the bases are empty with 2 outs for Hovsepian.
That's really a shame if you're Brookline. Hard situation, and that's what you're taught not to do. You just cannot bait to get the runner at second when there's a guy coming from third to home. A difficult play, and definitely a lesson learned after that one.
I actually might disagree with you there, Sam.
Really?
Get the out. At this stage in the game, I'm a big proponent of get the out, because otherwise you're banking on your pitcher to get this guy out and get the next guy out with runners at second and third.
Actually, you have a good point. I'm going to change my opinion.
Yeah, but that's the thing is there is validity to your thought there. This actually is a philosophical debate that we're having right now.
And I'm a
Because it's
flexible.
about it's about the logic, it's about the thought and the decisions you got to make. And there is no 100% right answer to it. It's not like 2 + 2 = 4. As that one foul tipped and Hovsepian stays alive at a 1-2 count. But it's like that's the decision that the fielders have to make in a split second there. And, Theo Bruin opted to go to second. He didn't want to blow the out and allow two guys in scoring position. I think he made the right decision there personally.
Honestly, I'm a flexible guy, and I think I've came to your side. I do agree with you. It's a hard play, but he made the right decision.
Yeah, he made an effort to try and hold the runner at third by looking at him before throwing to second. He did the best he could. It was just that, McElroy had speed coming from third. But Klein's got speed with his heater as he blows it past Hovsepian for out number 3. At the end of 4, we are all squared up here in Waltham. Brookline 3, Waltham 3.
Great game between the two sides. Waltham getting the run to tie it, their first run since the first inning as they knotted up here.
And this could be a potentially interesting offensive inning for Brookline as they have their 10-1-2 hitters due up Hom, Vankowski, and Klein. Hom and Vankowski, two of the fastest base runners for Brookline, and Klein, easily their most consistent hitter, and is already 2 for 2 today with a single and a double.
If Axel Hom could get one through the infield, he could definitely make some noise on the base paths, Jesse.
He could, absolutely. And fans, if you have any thoughts about this ball game or any messages you would like to send to a team or a player or to us throughout the rest of this broadcast, we encourage you to say something in the live chat here on YouTube or send me an email. If there's anything you want to say about how the ball game is going, how the broadcast is going, if you want to let us know who your favorite philosopher is, or what your favorite philosophical question is, whatever it is, we're having fun out here. It's a summer night. It's a beautiful night out, and we're watching a ball game. This is fun.
Exactly. Or if you want to ask us and debate us on what exactly is a philosophical question, there's that too.
Yes. And a bunt laid down by Hom. It's going to roll foul. Hom trying to sneak one past Waltham. Kind of lost the element of surprise, but man, if that had stayed in play, that was going to be a clean single without question.
Not even a bad idea from Hom. I like it.
I liked it too.
Why not put down
I was thinking it when he was coming. I was like, what if he just lays down a bunt, though? And he tried it, but now they're going to be watching for it.
It nearly worked there.
Now swings and lifts one into right field, being tracked by McElroy, and he's got the catch for out number 1.
Great job by McElroy just to get right under it, and Gollinger continues to force a lot of little pop-ups to the opposite field along with the foul balls that he has. But, Jesse, one interesting thing in our little debate that we've had.
Yes.
Now, I do debate. I'm doing debate this year. I'm doing a little summer debate thing. Even if you might be wrong, you still got to argue the side that you're given. And so I can't go back when it comes to what's a philosophical question. I have to find the holes in your argument.
Well, that's if you're doing competitive debate. But to me, if you're actually having a genuine discussion about it, you're actually discussing your own thoughts and feelings on the matter. It's not a matter of my team versus your team. It's a matter of working together to try and find understanding and find greater knowledge and understanding of what it is you're talking about.
But also it's
because
fun.
Think about it. You changed your mind on the philosophy of that play on the double steal.
Oh, you bet.
That's to me, that's good and healthy.
I mean, the way I think about it is definitely, but it's almost fun just to argue try to pick the holes, even though I know that why the moon is orange is not a philosophical question, but it's still fun as an exercise.
Yeah, no, that honestly started more as a joke because you were trying to define the question and you just accidentally said philosophical first before you could say something else. But it has turned into a fun. I've been having fun with our talks tonight.
It's been fun.
Full count to Leo Vankowski here with 1 out And the base is empty here in the top of the 5th inning. Brookline and Waltham knotted up at 3 apiece. And Vankowski, a good eye there as the breaking ball just drops a smidge too low from Gollinger. Puts a runner on for Noah Klein, who is already 2 for 2 today with a single and a double and 1 run scored.
Trying to get him low and away there, just missed as the ball broke away from the strike zone.
Fastball fouled off by Klein. Sends it over our heads, up the third base side for strike 1.
And that one is far gone. And one interesting thing, Jesse, on the topic of nature. Why here in Waltham, I just wonder, is at a turf field, the grass so tall behind the field? It's higher than it would be at Warren, at Joe Cabana Field.
Well, there's probably less of an incentive to do, like, proper grooming of a field that's not being used as a playing surface.
That's a good point.
So to me, it's less of a, well, I guess it is nature, because, humans are part of nature. We kind of discuss human civilization as being something separate from nature, but humans are naturally occurring animals within the world, so I don't know. 1-2, the count to Klein as another pickoff throw from Gollinger. Does not get Vankowski. He dives back safe. They're keeping an eye on him, hoping that he does not take a base and move into scoring position as he represents the potential go-ahead run. Klein slaps one up the middle, but a potential double play ball, and they got it. Oh, the worst place Klein could have hit that grounder right to second base, and it results in a 6-3 double play.
Klein tried to hit one down, and it proved costly. Defensive swing from him, and it ends up being worse than a strikeout would have been. The 6-3 double play, and it gives Waltham a bunch of momentum in the bottom of the 5th with our hitters coming up.
It'll be the bottom of their order due up, though. They're 8, 9, 10 hitters, Rutledge, DiStefano, and Visacci. But we'll see if Waltham can generate some momentum with the bottom part of their order.
This has been a decently quick game, all things considering, especially with the late start, Jesse.
That's true. It has been moving at a pretty decent clip. They've still had some, longer innings, some moments of tension, things like that. But overall, not a very high-scoring game, and we've had some innings that have moved pretty fast. Brookline has had 2 innings now where they had just 3 hitters come to the plate. 1 inning where they had just 4 hitters come to the plate. And, meanwhile, for Waltham, they had just 4 hitters come to the plate last inning. 4 hitters the inning before. 4 hitters the inning before. So, yeah, and in the second, that 4th hitter didn't even finish his plate appearance because the runner got caught stealing. So after a relatively long first inning from both sides, and then a lengthy 3rd inning for Brookline, aside from that, it's every inning has been 4 batters or less.
That's true.
That definitely, so the math checks out on why the game has been moving so fast.
Noah Klein still on the mound for Brookline.
Absolutely. Leading off, C.J. Rutledge for Waltham. First pitch going to miss, ball 1. Rutledge, his last time up, singled but was picked off at first.
Noah Klein pitching more glove side with his fastballs, and that's correlated with him having increased success.
That one misses outside. And just as you say that, he leans back towards that arm side habit and misses the zone, 2-0.
It's a question of whether he can do exactly what he did there, if he's able to, rather than lean back, push his body forward and kind of bend over, not really bend over a little bit, but have his body leaning down as he releases it.
This one skied out to center field. Kaufman tracks it, can of corn for out number 1.
Well, that's precisely it. Noah Klein, although he gets hit there by Rutledge, he gets the out straight up the middle of the field, and a fly out for Kaufman to grab.
Yep, that's why I always say, just got to throw strikes. You know, it is hard to get a hit in baseball, so, you know, trust your percentages. And just, you know, pitch to contact, especially at this level. Dante DiStefano takes ball 1 around his shoes. That one misses high and away, so he had low and inside and then high and away. Klein a little wild to start this one.
Well, that's the thing, Jesse. High and away concerns me a lot more for Klein than low and inside. Low and inside, glove side, if I'm Klein, I'm perfectly fine with that because it means that he's still got the mechanics down. See, that low pitch is fine because overall he's leading him more forwards than when he's releasing it.
Well, the count's certainly not fine for Klein at this moment. 3-0, the count to DiStefano. And it is going to be a 4-pitch walk as Klein really just bounced back and forth between high and away and low and in through those 4 pitches, and it's a 4-pitch walk. Puts 1 on with 1 out as up comes Rocco Visacci. Visacci last time up got hit by a pitch, stole second, but was caught stealing third. Takes that one high for ball 1.
Little fake bunt there from Visacci.
Yeah, Brookline going to be on the lookout for that now. In a tight game like this, as it gets later into the game, you start looking into more of these kind of small ball strategies, especially when you're trying to get things going with the bottom part of your order. Swing and a miss there from Visacci. Strike 1.
Really big long swing there from Visacci. Just got behind it. And Jesse, you talked about playing the percentages. Honestly, that's how I feel about Klein with his pitch placement. I would rather have a glove side miss than a arm side miss just in terms of percentages, even if it's the same result.
Well, he gets the result he wants that time. Strike 2. Ahead in the count now, 1-2.
Because the thing is, overall, if he's pulling arm side, if he misses glove side, eventually he's going to get back to the middle.
This one fouled off. Visacci stays alive. And that, you know, generates another round of the classic game of, oh no, where did I park my car? But I don't know about you. I parked my car pretty far away because there were a whole bunch of cars here for the previous game when I showed up. That one fouled off again towards some of the vehicles. I think it missed him, though. Ooh, nope. I spoke too soon. Off the bounce. Hits off the side of a car.
Man, you know what I love, Jesse? You're able to decipher, because you don't have a headset on, where the car was hit.
A beautiful breaking ball from Klein there for strike 3 as he picks up another K. Second out of the inning. Drew Smith coming up with 2 down and a runner at first. And for Klein, that is, I think that's his 6th strikeout so far, as that one misses for ball 1 to Smith. Let me see, he had 2 Ks in the first, 1 in the second, 1 in the third, 1 in the fourth, and now he's got 1 in the 5th. So 6 Ks so far today for Noah Klein. He's had 1 in every inning with 2 in the first.
But that may very well be his first strikeout on a breaking ball.
It's not.
It's not.
I don't think it is. Pretty sure I remember calling a breaking ball strike 3. Hey, you know, it's been a long game. It's been a fast game, but it's been a long game.
It's been a long game again.
That one misses for ball 3. Klein hitting the struggles with his control again. Opened the inning, giving up a 1-out 4-pitch walk to DiStefano. That one catches the low corner for strike 1. Smith taking it all the way, knowing he is still just 1 ball away from a walk.
Well, this Brookline team is going to need to get some more offensive firepower. Scored all 3 of their runs in the 3rd inning. Have not gotten anything going since.
A timeout called. So they reset here. 3-1 pitch coming up. 2 down, runner at first here in the bottom of the 5th. Hits a bouncer. towards short, picked up by Vankowski. Long throw, got him, and just barely in time for the third out of the inning. Smith tried to stretch that one out, but the umps have not been kind to base runners at first base for either team. So at the end of 5, we're all tied up at 3. These two teams have just 2 innings left to try and break this tie before we go into extras, and then we find out whether or not these field lights are on any kind of timer. Because if the town puts them on like a timer or something, there might be a time when they just go out. And we already started this game late, so, we'll see. Or maybe we won't. One of these teams might break it open in the next couple of innings, and we won't have to see.
Let's hope we do not have a blackout in Waltham.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
I've heard of blackout theme, but not an actual blackout during the game.
Yeah, definitely don't want that. It's funny, I was actually watching like sort of a baseball short documentary thing, and it mentioned a game that was being played in, I think it was Shea Stadium in New York, when New York had a blackout. Like the city had like a major blackout or something in the middle of a game. So interesting to think of that concept right after I had seen that last night. Kaufman, Hellendrung, and Hodgson due up in this inning for Brookline. Max Kaufman leading off. One of Brookline's faster base runners. If they could get him on base, could be a real threat to potentially be the go-ahead run as he takes a high ball 1.
Good take there from Max Kaufman. It is a really interesting thing. I've never been at a game where there has been a blackout. It's got to be awfully rare.
That's going to be a low ball 2. Kaufman so far today 1 for 1 with a walk, a single, and 2 RBI. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Kaufman had that big game-tying single to center, driving in Vankowski and Klein back in the 3rd. Takes that one inside for ball 3. He's got a hitter's count here at 3-1. And in such a tight game, even this late into it, both teams sticking with their pitchers as they've both been working pretty efficient games so far.
Max Kaufman, just a really solid contact and on-base guy.
Fouls that one off, and he's got a full count.
And this is exactly the kind of hitter that you want to have up if you're Brookline at this point in the game to potentially start a rally.
Slices that one up in the air. Looks like it might be playable, but might not. It's going to go out of play. Max Kaufman, he's been battling at the plate all night long. Had that long at-bat that led to his game-tying single. The first one he didn't have to fight all that much, just drew a 4-pitch walk, but still, he's showing an ability to hang in there and not give the pitcher an easy out.
And a big 3-2 count here in the top of the 6th.
And he got jammed on that one. Bouncer was just fair as it is fielded by DeStefano. Tags first, and that will be the first out of the inning. Looked like it was about to go foul, but it just hugged that baseline and stayed fair, which led to an easy out for the Waltham defense.
That time, Kaufman, not much he could do about that. Looked like it came off the knob of the bat. And yet again, a weak contact that Gollinger is able to induce.
Looks like the Brookline first base coach trying to argue that it went foul as it went over the bag. The umps are going to confer over this. If they overturn this, this could be a big opportunity for Brookline because count would stay full for Kaufman. Now, the odds of an overturn with like no, video replay or anything like that are slim at this level. Looks like they upheld the call, and Kaufman will go back to the dugout with the unassisted ground out to first. Bryce Hellendrung now stepping in. That one comes in high for ball 1. And Sam, I mentioned how efficiently these two pitchers have been working. And through 5 innings, only 3 frames, the top and bottom of the first inning and the top of the third, those are the only innings where we saw more than 4 batters come to the plate for either side.
That is truly something else. It has been a very defensive game. Obviously, both sides started out with a couple base runners. Waltham was able to get 2 earned runs come across in the first, but
Bryce Hellendrung lifts one high out to left, but it looks like it's going to be easy tracking out in left field there for Rutledge. That'll be out number 2.
Bryce Hellendrung did what he had to do there. Just good contact, not the best spot, and a little bit under it.
Yeah, I was about to say it was also a little bit under it. But 2 outs. Harris Hodgson steps in, and he lifts the first pitch he sees into left field. An opposite field single for Harris Hodgson to keep the inning going. And now Eli Gevert's going to step up with 2 down and a runner at first.
Gevertz had that contorting play to get the final out earlier in the game at third base.
Hits a chopper up the middle, fielded at short. Burke going to tag second for the last out. A quick 1 pitch out and another very efficient inning for Gollinger, as once again the pattern holds. That's another half inning with 4 batters. I'm telling you, this pattern has been absolutely crazy. We've now had 11 half innings played tonight. Only 3 of those 11 half innings had more than 4 batters come to the plate.
That's nuts.
So a very efficient night for both pitchers, but it's going to be the end of the night for one of them, as Brookline's going to pull Klein off the mound. They're bringing in number 43, Luke Lamacchia, who is making his pitching debut for this Brookline 18U summer team. Has not pitched for them yet this season. This is his first season with the team. So this is his first pitching appearance for this 18U Lou Tompkins team, period.
And a big spot.
Yeah, and he's taken over in the middle of a tie ball game in, a big battle for playoff positioning. Because these two teams, they're only separated by 2 games in the standings. So if Brookline were able to pull this one out, they'd pull within 1 game. But if Waltham wins, then they assure themselves that they'll be higher in the standings than Brookline, no matter what happens the rest of the week. It'll be the top of the order due up for Waltham, as they will start their 3rd turn through the order with Burke, Leonardo, and Champion due up. So we'll see what kind of stuff we're getting from Luke Lamacchia. Noah Klein finishes 5 innings pitched. Had 3 runs allowed. A lot of questions about how many of them were earned. There's a debate that, maybe 1, maybe 2, maybe none of them were earned with all the craziness that went on. But for now, it's Luke Lamacchia's turn. First pitch, it's a foul, popped up, bunt, sliding catch made by Josiah Kalmas for out number 1.
Great catch there by Kalmas. Incredible hustle, and Luke Lamacchia, when he was warming up, essentially just only fastballs, but had really good command of them low in the zone. Looked awfully solid, and that pitch, very evident of that. Leonardo coming up, and then it will be Champion after him.
Joseph Leonardo with 1 out and the bases empty. A nice, efficient 1 pitch out for Lamacchia. And first pitch, chopper up the middle, coming across for it. Vankowski, throw to first is not in time as Leonardo legs out the infield hit. We've seen some close plays at first base today, a lot of them going in the defense's favor, but that time, that one just took a long journey up the middle of the field, and Vankowski had to go behind the bag to come across and get it. Couldn't get there in time. Infield hit. First pitch to Champion in there for strike 1.
And that's a really interesting thing, Jesse, because we talked about it in the pregame how this turf field could lead to lower scores, and that's precisely what has happened because more fielding plays have been able to be made. Only 2 errors in totally in the entire game, both of them committed by Brookline. Again, this is according to the scoreboard here at Yeti Field.
0-2, the count to Champion here. 1 out, runner at first. Tied up at 3.
Yeton Field, excuse me.
That's going to be a low fastball for ball 1. Champion, so far today, he's got a hit by pitch, scored a run, and he is struck out. So 0 for 1 so far, as he takes that one low around his shoes for ball 2.
Lamakia still a pitcher's count, and Jesse, it would be really interesting to see if this is yet another inning where there are 4 batters that come up.
It'll be interesting to see if the pattern holds. Champion lifts this one deep out to right center. That's going to be extra bases. This might be the go-ahead hit that they've wanted, that deep outfield in Waltham, setting him up for an opportunity for an inside the Parker. It's close, and he's safe. An inside the park home run for Billy Champion breaks the game open as Waltham takes the lead 5-3. Takes a lead of 2 runs, 5-3.
This is the other side of the coin here in Waltham. The turf field, when a ball's hit hard and it gets deep, it just keeps on rolling. Precisely what happened there.
Fleming got jammed, but lifted it into a soft spot in right field for a single. Got jammed there, but also placed it right where it needed to be for a base hit. And yeah, that's the thing. The outfield here goes back so deep, the fence isn't going to save you and limit how far the batter can go. That ball will just keep on going.
And also, the field will not save you in terms of the grass because the ball will not stop.
Yeah, that is also true. Jack McElroy at the plate. Runner at first, 1 out. Waltham now up 5-3.
Less hard bounces in the infield, but if one goes, it's going far.
Yep. The challenge has really, for the most part, been in the outfield this game in terms of covering a lot of space and tracking the ball in the night sky. 1-1, the count to Jack McElroy. McElroy last time up, hit that ball up the middle that bounced off Vankowski's glove. The scoreboard counted that as an error as he chased that fastball low for strike 2, and actually the count is 2-2, so I must have missed a ball in there somewhere.
Nice little breaking ball from Lamakia there, working it on the outside part of the plate. Gets it back to a pitcher's count, but this is a crucial out for him.
Runner's going to go for second, inside ball 3, throw down to second. Oh, they got him. A nice throw from Josiah Kalmus. The second runner he's thrown out trying to steal tonight.
And a great tag applied by Bryce Hellendrung.
By the left fielder?
He's playing, that's number 2.
You're right, he switched because Lamakia moved to the mound. This is why it's good to have backup for when I say dumb stuff like that. McElroy draws a walk. And you're right, Hellendrung took over at second base. Klein moved back to his normal position at first coming off the mound. Lamakia came from second to the mound, and they sent Theo Bruin into the outfield. First pitch to Gollinger in there for strike 1.
This is always why it's great to have a team.
Yes.
Especially with a hard fence where it's not easy to see things.
Yes. Teamwork does, in fact, make the dream work. This one skied foul by Gollinger for strike 2. Gollinger now the pitcher on credit for the win for Waltham, as he did pitch all of the top half of this inning. So even if he does get subbed out in the top of the 7th, he is still the pitcher on credit because the change has not yet been made. That misses outside, ball 1. 2 down, runner at second.
Brookline now only 3 outs away from falling to 7-6 on their record. Tried to get another one right down the middle, just struggling to locate within the strike zone. But again, that's what you have to do. You got to throw strikes. Lamakia just getting hit hard here in the 6th.
And that's kind of the trade-off for when you're a hard-throwing pitcher, is sometimes the contact is hard, as that's going to be a ball and a free steal for Gollinger with a runner at third. McElroy at third, Gollinger at second, Hovsepian at the plate. Takes high ball 2.
Lamakia, another high fastball there, just trying to work it in on him. Lamakia's had some 2-2 counts, some opportunities to get guys out, but the problem has been when he's gone to that payoff pitch, he hasn't been able to get any swing and miss.
Oh, a wild pitch. Got away from Kalmus, and in comes McElroy. Run number 6 for Waltham.
That's a killer there. Lamakia pulls it left there on glove side. Run comes across, and not much that Kalmus could do about it.
Yeah, and it's a question of whether it's a wild pitch or a passed ball. It did come off his glove, and that's one I'm going to check Game Changer on. Whether you score that a wild pitch or a pass ball, either way a run comes in, but could make a difference in terms of earned run counts for Lamakia.
In all honesty, it looked like a pass ball to me.
Yeah. I said wild pitch in the moment, but I was thinking even as it was happening, I was like, that might be a passed ball, but I'm just going to stay with following the play for now.
Yeah, I definitely say that came off of Kalmus now that I think about it.
Swing and a miss there. Lamakia trying to rebound as he's got it now to a full count. 2 down. Gollinger at third. Waltham now leads by 3.
And even if Lamakia can get this out, Brookline's still 3 down with 3 outs to go.
Well, he doesn't get that out. It's a high ball 4. Hovsepian will trot down to first. And it'll be Rutledge coming up here with runners at the corners and 2 down.
Just a tough inning for Lamakia after Klein went 5 innings of only giving up 1 earned run, 3 runs total. Did a really good job. ERA stays awfully low.
It's going to be a low ball, and they're not going to challenge Hovsepian as he goes up to second.
And again, Jesse, you said it perfectly earlier. When you're a hard thrower and hitters make contact, sometimes they're going to hit it a long way.
And when you're a hard thrower, sometimes your catcher's glove doesn't get to the spot fast enough. You know, it's the trade-off that you deal with, at this level that you don't necessarily think about as much at the pro level. That one juggled a bit but doesn't get away. Ball 2.
And precisely there, Kalmus unable to fully get his glove to it. Kind of got him in the padding there.
Runners at second and third, 2 down. Here in the bottom of the 6th. That one misses outside, ball 3.
Lamakia there just pulling it. Interesting because Klein's struggles were arm side and Lamakia that time glove side outside.
Breaking ball fouled off, strike 2. Full count now to Rutledge. Lamakia in his first pitching appearance with this 18U Lou Tompkins team, trying to finish the inning, but that one's going to be lined through to right. At least 1 run coming in. They're sending the second runner around. It's a close play at the plate, and they say he slid around the tag. 2 runs in off the single from C.J. Rutledge.
Runner coming home, nearly slid into the umpire there. Impressive move from him, acrobatics, able to get around, and that's another case of Luke Lamakia's velocity actually hurting him on the hard line drive to RBI single by Rutledge. Nothing he could do about it. Put it in a good spot, but an even better hit. And that's what happens when you throw hard sometimes.
And now a meeting at the mound. We'll see if they decide to pull Lamakia off the mound. He's not in as tough of a spot now with just a runner at first, no one in scoring position. Still just one out away and facing the bottom of the order here, and it looks like they're going to stick with him to let him finish the inning. I mean, at this point, you are down 5, so it's not as tight of a situation. You don't feel as much urgency to make that call to the bullpen again. You know, you're facing the bottom of the order, and you only need one more out. No one's in scoring position. You know, it's a fairly decent position to keep your guy in and see if he can finish it. But still good to go out there and talk to the guy and try and settle him down, because it has been a rough inning for him.
Definitely.
Low ball 1 to Dante DiStefano. That's going to be a high ball 2. Misses it low, then misses it high.
And that's been the thing. Most of these misses, some have been glove side. A lot of them just either low or high.
And that one misses low and away, ball 3.
Yet again, glove side.
Yeah, the outside part of the plate for righties is where a lot of throws from both Klein, the lefty, and Lamakia, the righty, have been hitting for Brookline today. As that one does hit the zone for strike 1. DiStefano taking it all the way. And that is going to be a low ball 4.
Just a tough inning for Luke Lamakia. Trying to work the fastball. Missed it outside, missed some high, and that time he misses low. And Busey is coming out.
And that might be it. First pitch he threw this inning, drew a pop out to the catcher. But after that, it's just been one rough moment after another. A single, an inside the park home run, a single, a guy caught stealing second for the second out, then a walk, a single, a walk, a single, and a walk. And they are going to bring in Theo Bruin to try and finish the inning here. So they're going to send out Cook Ryan out into the field.
And Theo Bruin on the mound.
Yes. So Lamakia finishes with 2/3 of an inning pitched, giving up 5 runs. And, you know, a question of how many earned, but might be all of them. Bruin coming into this one, this is his 4th relief outing this summer. He's pitched 2 2/3 innings through those previous 3 appearances. Got 1 pitching win. ERA's a bit high in the limited sample size at 15.75 and a whip of 5.63. Still looking for his first K of the summer as he gets ready to face Rocco Visacci.
And the key for Bruin is to 1, be able to throw strikes, and 2, if Waltham were able to hit his fastballs, whether he can mix in some breaking balls to get this final out of the inning in the strike zone.
First pitch going to miss, ball 1. Visacci struck out his last time up, which was last inning, as Waltham has almost batted all the way around. They started at the top of their order with Burke, and now they're down to the second to last hitter in their lineup. As Visacci lines one past third, they're going to hold the runners on the single by Visacci.
Waltham have put up 5 runs in this inning with the bases loaded now and 2 outs. They have just kept tacking on to this rally, building on and pouring it on Brookline.
Yeah, they had only scored 3 runs back when they were 2 outs, and they've put on just 2 extra runs with 2 outs, but still threatening to score as the first pitch to Drew Smith misses for ball one, and now every member of the Waltham lineup has seen the plate this inning. That one misses high and in, ball two. And again, after we talked about how many innings we're going through so efficiently, now we've, got the most explosive inning that either side has had all night.
Waltham started out this game, only got 2 runs that came across off of Noah Klein, but created a lot of chaos on the base paths.
3-0 now, the count to Smith. A chance to walk in another run. And that's what's going to happen. It's a 4-pitch bases loaded walk for Smith as Waltham makes it 9-3.
Waltham in their previous game against Brookline won 10-2. This score starting to look slowly but surely a lot more like that here in this inning.
Back to the top of the order with Dylan Burke as he takes ball one.
This Waltham team now putting up a 6th spot already in the bottom of the 6th.
And now, interestingly enough, the winning run is at the plate right now for Waltham. I know it's a bit of a long shot to mention, but if everyone on the bases and the guy at the plate all score for Waltham, the game ends and we don't even get a 7th inning. That one's going to miss, ball two.
It's kind of crazy to think about. This game was 3-3 before this half inning started, and we were talking about how this could be another inning where only 4 hitters come up. Then Waltham does a great job to get consistent line drive hits off of Luke Lamacchia. Then they get an inside the park 2-run home run.
2-2 now, the count to Burke. He popped out to the catcher to start this 6th inning. Now here in his second plate appearance of the frame. With the bases juiced and 2 out. Fouls that one off to stay alive.
And that's a good pitch, Jesse, from Theo Bruin. I like that pitch a lot mechanically. He's able to rev it up well. Get it past Burke for a second despite the fact that he fouls it off. And you got to think Bruin a little bit more motivated now to avoid the mercy rule. Wonder if that's in the back of his head.
Well, Waltham's still a few runs away from being within close range of that, but now with a 3-2 count, they're 1 ball away from making this double digits. Chases that one low and fouls it off.
And what a scrappy at-bat this has been from Burke.
It has been. Count still full, another payoff pitch coming. Pops this one up in playable range, and it's Gevertz racing over to get it to finally bring an end to what was a very tough inning for Brookline.
Great catch by Eli Gevertz, able to hustle down to grab it, but Waltham puts up 6 runs in that inning, 9-3. The game started out 2-0 Waltham. Then Brookline put up 3, then Waltham put up 1 to tie it up. Back in the 4th inning, that was 3-3, and then Waltham with a 9, so that's how we got to this 9-3 score. Brookline 3 outs away from falling to a 7-6 record here in the Lou Tompkins League of 2026.
6 runs come across in that bottom of the 6th inning for Waltham, 2 of them off the go-ahead inside the park home run from Billy Champion, and then 3 of those 6 runs, 4 of those 6 runs coming across with 2 outs in the inning.
And that's the stuff that's really hard about it, is the fact that Lamacchia was still able to fight through despite the struggles, more or less. But then after Brookline got the 2 outs, they were just unable to get the final one. Waltham absolutely piling it on in the bottom of the 6th.
And now in the top of the 7th, they do make a change on the hill. Joseph Leonardo taking over on the mound for Evan Golinger, who will be the pitcher on credit for the win, assuming that Waltham can hold on here in this half inning. Brookline needs to score at least 6 runs just to keep it going through this frame. And they will be starting this one off with their 7-8-9 hitters. I'm not sure if someone might be hitting in place of Lamacchia. They will be. They subbed in Cook Ryan in the field after taking Lamakia off the mound. So he will be batting in place of Lamakia. And then after that will be Bruin and Kalmus. So now batting his first plate appearance of the night, number 21, Cook Ryan.
This is a great opportunity for a guy like Ryan to get some swings in. Doesn't have as much playing time as some of the other guys on this team, but it's still nice to see.
On the season so far, Ryan 2 for 7 at the plate, 1 walk, 2 hit by pitches, and 3 runs scored. The only Brookline player who has been hit by a pitch multiple times this season. That one gonna miss, ball 2.
And I gotta say, Jesse, that's an interesting tidbit, and it makes me wonder, a question for you. How many times were you hit by a pitch in your Little League career?
Oh gosh, I do not remember that one, but I don't think it was a lot.
I was hit once.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if the answer was 0. That is so long ago. I hung up my bat and my mitt a long time ago. Is that not a 4-pitch walk? Oh, there must have been a strike in there that I missed. That's my bad. I did 3-1 the count. I keep forgetting there's a scoreboard here that I can just look at and find out if I'm wrong. In the end, still a walk for Cook Ryan to lead it off. His second base on balls of the summer. And now coming up, the pitcher, number 12, Theo Bruin.
And Jesse, yeah, definitely my only time getting hit by a pitch. I believe it was in senior league. Was not comfortable, but not the worst.
He loops this one out to right, drops in the gap, goes off the right fielder's glove, but he recovers it nicely off the bounce. Holds Bruin to a single, but Ryan legs it out to third.
Man, what a job there by McElroy out in right field. Able to juggle it up to himself, make the grab, and prevent Bruin from advancing to second. That's impressive.
Runners at the corners now with nobody out for Brookline as they're trying to generate some offense here in the hole, down by 6. Josiah Kalmus stepping in. Takes a high, ball 1.
Josiah Kalmus has thrown out 2 runners in this game from the catcher position.
Swing and a miss there, and a throw sails into left field. Ryan back on his feet, but got up a little too slow after diving back to the bag. Does not head for home plate. However, Bruin heads up to second.
And Ryan probably could have gone home, all things considering.
Probably could have, but, you know, again, when a guy shows, we've said it before, when a guy shows hesitation on the base pads, best to stick to the closest base.
I got to agree.
I believe the count is 2-1 to Kalmus, and now 3-1. As that one misses as well, has a chance to draw a walk and load the bases. And he will. So Brookline off to a very good start to this top of the 7th inning. Both teams displaying just how tough it can be for relief pitchers in this league to come in and have their stuff going for them right away.
You bet. If your stuff's a little bit off, it can really spiral in a dream situation here for Brookline with the bases loaded and no outs, despite the fact that they gave up 6 runs in the last inning. Still not over yet.
It's not over, as now Axel Hom will be coming up. Hom 0 for 2 so far today, grounded out to second and flew out to right as he fouls that one off for strike 1.
And Axel Hom does have a lot of speed on the base pads. Man, Jesse, these last 2 half innings have gone for a long, long time compared to any of the previous innings.
That one high for ball 1, and that's why it's like with the baseball game, you never really know what shape it's going to take until it's over, because any inning could just warp the fabric of the game altogether. High ball 2 to Hom.
And that's the beauty of it.
It is. It's part of what makes baseball such a beautiful game. 2-1 the count to Hom. Now 3-1 with a high ball there. They try another pickoff at third. Fleming has caught one runner that way, but that time the lead runner, Cook Ryan, dives back safe, and now Hom one ball away from driving in a run. He hits a grounder up the middle, sliding snag by Gollinger to second for one. They cannot turn two, and it will be an RBI fielder's choice for Axel Hom as Cook Ryan comes home.
But that's still a crucial out. If you're Waltham, you're perfectly fine with Cook Ryan coming home, runners on the corners. Still a good opportunity to get the double play, obviously, and a good effort from them. But now just 2 outs away from improving your record and getting yet another victory.
First pitch is going to be high ball one to Leo Vankowski as the top of the Brookline order comes up with runners at the corners and 1 out. That one going to miss for ball two. Fleming from behind the plate keeping a close eye on Axel Hom. A speedster over at first with runners at the corners.
Waltham 2 outs away from improving to 10-3 on their 18U Luke Tompkins season.
Brookline trying to fight and keep from falling to 7-6. 2-1 the count to Vankowski. Vankowski, his last time up, drew a walk, but was forced out on a double play. Now a 3-1 count. Joseph Leonardo, the relief pitcher, struggling a bit with his control, but draws a foul ball out of play from Vankowski there to make it a full count.
Leonardo trying to work the fastball inside there. Good pesky job from Leo Vankowski. What an at-bat this has been for him.
Vankowski lifts one just out of reach for Gollinger into center field. Bruin trots home, and Hom has to slide in to second to avoid a throw for the force from center field. That's going to be an RBI single for Leo Vankowski.
And one thing I've observed, Jesse, in some of these Lou Tompkins games is when one team gets a big lead on the other, no lead whatsoever is safe. Brookline had one where they won just by one, I believe.
Yeah, that was against Belmont Watertown.
Yep, Belmont Watertown. And these Lou Tompkins leagues, again, you have some younger players, a mix of guys, and literally anything could happen.
Absolutely. In that Belmont Watertown game, Brookline was leading, I believe, 10-4 going into the 7th and final inning. They gave up 5 runs and only barely won 10-9 as Noah Klein lifts one into center, but it's within range. Caught out in center field for out number 2. Good contact, bad placement, and now Brookline is down to their final shot. As coming up now, Max Kaufman trying to keep the game going. Runners at first and second, 2 down. Brookline still trails by 4. Hits a bouncer foul up the first base side. Strike 1. Kaufman, his last time up, grounded out to first on a similar kind of ball that was almost foul, but just barely hugged the baseline to stay fair for an unassisted ground out. Swing and a miss there for strike 2. Brookline down to their final strike here. Waltham leading 9-5. They're trying to secure their 10th win of the season. That is a wild pitch. The 2 runners will take a free pass along the paths there. Hom over to third. Vankowski up to second. A 1-2 count to Kaufman. Kaufman launches one deep to left. Left fielder launches it, go over his head. That's 2 runs in. Max Kaufman putting on the Jets. He's going for third. He's going to come in with a 2-run triple.
What a clutch job by Max Kaufman. Down to Brookline's final strike, and he absolutely delivers, pulling it deep to left field. Precisely what Brookline needed in this one, and now the tying runner at the plate in Bryce Hellendrung.
And Hellendrung takes a high ball 1. As, like you said it before, Sam, no lead is ever safe, as that one fouled off for strike one by Hellendrung. Hom and Vankowski both in to score there, as Brookline has rallied for 4 runs here against the reliever Leonardo. 1-1 the count to Hellendrung. Hits a chopper to third, fielded clean, and this is going to be the ball game. Brookline gave it a try on the comeback in the 7th, but they fall just short. The final score here at Yetton Field in Waltham, Massachusetts: Waltham 9, Brookline 7. Well, plenty of ups, downs, and arounds in that one. You know, we saw what looked to be a near offensive explosion in the first inning, but both pitchers staying hale and hearty to limit the damage in that first frame, and then they really settled in. And while Brookline was able to come back and take a 3-2 lead in the 3rd, Waltham able to answer with a tying run in the 4th and then break things open in the bottom of the 6th. The go-ahead inside the park home run from Billy Champion gave Waltham the lead, and then they tacked on 4 more runs with 2 outs in that 6th inning. A big rally to go up 9-3. Brookline answers back with 4 runs in the top of the 7th, but ultimately they finish just short. Brookline falls to 7-6 on the season, while Waltham improves to 10-3. Brookline will be continuing their fight for a playoff spot tomorrow, as they will have Billerica at home, and then on Thursday they'll be facing Drake on the road. Again, all of this weather permitting. I know there's some rain in the forecast this week, and we'll see how that plays out. But assuming the games are a go, we'll have those covered for you. But that's going to do it for this one. Alongside Sam Lowenstein, I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. Thank you all so much for tuning in tonight. If you enjoyed this broadcast, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Thank you to all those who participated in our live chat today. If there's anything you'd like to say after the live stream's concluded, you can say it in the comment section down below. You can also go down below to the description section of this video, where you can find the links for our local charity spotlight, Brookline Cares. And you can also find some links related to me that you can also see in the bottom right corner of your screen. My personal website, jessesports.com. My email, if you would like to send me any questions, requests, or comments. And my social media accounts on Instagram and Facebook. I'll be posting Brookline's highlights from this game later on tonight on this channel, as well as on Instagram and Facebook, so be sure to be on the lookout for those. Waltham 9, Brookline 7. Alongside Sam Lowenstein here at Yetton Field in Waltham, Massachusetts, I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. Thank you all for watching, and have a good night.